Chapter 13, question 13, asks you to identify the monosaccharide that fits a few descriptions. There are 3 monosaccharides that you want to know for principles of chemistry, at the very least. And these are glucose, that's the first one, galactose, that's the second one, and fructose, that's the third one. All of these are sugars. You can tell because they all end in OSE. That is the suffix for sugar. Okay, so a few facts about each of these. Glucose is blood sugar. And as blood sugar, it's when it builds up in your blood and is unable to be absorbed in sufficient quantities that you get diabetes. So ultimately, it's high blood levels of glucose cause diabetes. Diabetes, all right. That's glucose. Galactose. Galactose is one of the monosaccharides that makes up lactose. You can see it in the name. Galactose is one of the 2 links in that chain. Lactose is a disaccharide, and one of these saccharides is galactose. And there is a condition called Galactosemia where a person can't absorb and break down glucose or can't absorb and break down galactose, and the galactose builds up in the person's blood. Emia means in your blood. And it'll sometimes collect in tissues, especially, say, in eyes, and will cause a sort of fuzzy or fogginess of vision. So that's one thing associated with galactose, which comes from lactose, or which helps to make up lactose. Last but not least is fructose, and you can sort of see here, this is the sugar in most fruits, fruit sugar, and it's actually the sweetest of the monosaccharides. So when they want to make something really, really sweet, they'll put a lot of fructose in it. You might have heard of things like high fructose corn syrup. That's corn syrup where they've broken the syrup apart so that there's a lot of fructose in it. So it's really, really sweet. Okay, armed with that knowledge, let's go back here. It says to identify the monosaccharide that fits each of the following descriptions. Is also called blood sugar. Well, that is clearly glucose. So, glucose. All right, is not metabolized in a condition known as galactosemia. Galactosemia is where galactose builds up in your blood, or in your body tissues in general. So galactose, and is also called fruit sugar. Well, that would clearly be an example of fructose. Fructose, as you can see from that FRU there, is in fruits. It's the sweetest of the monosaccharides.